Okay, so we're going to do a week 17 update. This week, after I had my test results done, came back with a 24 on my nitrates. So that's a little bit high for me and what I want to maintain in my tank. So if you watched last week's video, I kind of modified the blackout theory with some of my coral. So as you can see on this guy here, you can see he's just engorged with algae. And now the dry rock is like almost completely clean, a couple of spots here and there. So along with, keeping up with the cleanup crew, we have the emerald crab. I went and picked up the destroyers. I don't know if you can, there he is. So I picked up one turbo. He's been doing a really good job. So what I just did a little bit ago was I had another piece of natural rock on this side of my shelf. And so beginning of, or I should say the end of last week, I took these pieces here, the one that toadstool's on, the one that my flower pot's on, and this piece right here where the snail is, that's kind of supporting everything. So those three had a bit of algae on them. So I put them in a bucket, blacked them out for 4 days, and also added a little bit of the algae reducer. So they came back looking really good. So what's happening now is the floating algae that's going around is starting to snag back up, but it's going to be manageable at this point between the snails, the crab, the algae reducer. We'll see what happens. So that piece is in until this is Tuesday. So we'll take a peek at it Friday or Saturday. Should be clean of algae. Should be able to just take it out. Maybe brush it a little bit if I need to. Go ahead and rinse it off, and then go back in the tank, and then we'll go ahead and take that guy out and finish off. So probably tomorrow I'm going to come in. We're going to get rid of some of this diatom here. Not much, a little bit, clean up a little bit, and just keep going, Parameters are good. All my corals are really doing good. I got some zoanthid frags that are having little babies. I don't know exactly where they are at this second because I've moved so much stuff around. We'll see. Feather duster, the new feather duster is doing really good. So that's it for midweek 17. So we're 4 months into the tank. Had a pretty hardcore algae issue, and we're dealing with it. We're getting through it. It's improving. And like with anything else with reef tanks, you got to just stick with it. It doesn't happen overnight. So we'll clean up the gravel a little bit tomorrow. Do maybe a 2-3 gallon water change with it. See if we can get those nitrates back and figure out what's feeding this algae and try to combat it. All right, so here we are, different lens. Just a quick review, midweek 17. 4 months in, we're doing pretty good, fighting the algae. So I'd say the tank's about half clean of algae. We're going to do some cleanup in the next few days, small water changes, but you can see the difference between an algae covered rock, and actually the fish love this because it's got some really nice holes in it and stuff, and where I just cleaned up this side and did the algae removal and blackout on the rocks. All right, so here we are, week 17, 4 months in, and I think going forward, I'm going to do monthly videos, because once you get past this 4-month mark, you're going to know whether you're going to be able to maintain your tank or it's just not working. So we're going to do monthlies, and I wanted to just do a follow-up for this first part on my continuation from week 16 and dealing with this algae that's going crazy, with phosphorus showing up at 0 and nitrates, anywhere from 15 to 25. Got to get a little more drastic killing this algae. So last week I modified the blackout theory and took about a third of the corals out, had them in salt water that got changed out, added some algae reducer to it, and I'll show you what I got from that. So here's the 4 pieces I did. As you can see, no algae, 4 days in blackout in a bucket with salt water, a little bit of algae reducer, covered up 4 days. A little bit of toothbrushing on some parts, but for the most part, it all fell off and, took care of itself. So I think from this point, the cleanup crew can really do a lot better. So we're going to go ahead and do some maintenance on week 17 here. We're going to clean a third of the substrate in the tank, and then we're going to go ahead and do the modified blackout to get rid of this algae on this rock, and then we'll see where we are with the rest. All right, we'll do a quick week 18, beginning of week 18. So we're looking pretty good on the cleanup. Halfway there. So next water change, I'm gonna siphon all that off the vent. Top one's about the same. So new things I picked up today. This really nice, it's called a Jedi Mind Trick Monty. Let me back out a little bit so it's better. And then I picked up a double regular Florida mushroom, double head. And then I picked up what's called a Season Greetings, this green one. And then this next one is a chalice. They call it an all-star. It's like a multicolored chalice. And then in the back, they haven't popped out yet, but I got the new green star polyp frag. So I did a good cleanup on this side. Let me see if I can get in over here. It's hard to tell. Good cleanup on this vent here. And sand's looking pretty good. Still a few spots that could probably get vacuumed, but for the most part, the rock that was totally covered in algae is really doing good. So this one right here where the star polyp is, that's going to be the next one going in for a modified blackout. The Gorgonian's doing good. The Galaxia isn't doing so good these days, but I'm going to work on him. So yeah, other than that, the Lepto's doing good. The Alivipora in the back there is doing good. Flower pot is doing good. All the zoes are doing good. So we're moving along. Week 18. We'll do another little short update when I do the next water change. But here we are, about 4 months in. We're looking pretty good so far. So far, so good. I'm happy with it. Okay, here we are, mid-week 18. Algae's getting way more in control. We're going to go ahead and do the modified blackout on this dry rock piece. Seems to be attracting the algae again. And then we're also going to work on the frags. All right, here we are, mid-week 19, coming up on 5 months. So I've gotten rid of my algae mostly from putting a piece in a bucket, blacking it out for a few days, and then cleaning it off. So I've got this piece of dry rock back in there and went out and got a fresh water test done, and check this out. Ouch. So got crazy high nitrates, phosphates creeping up on 1. So that's still, I want to probably run about a 0.5 phosphate instead of 0.8. And nitrates definitely got to go down to like 15. So we're going to do a couple water changes this week, coming up on 5 months.